Good morning, dear children. So, till date, we have been discussing about the laws of indices and also various problems related to the law of indices. In our previous classes, we have started with exercise 5b and I was discussing some of the questions. Now, I am repeatedly telling you one thing is whenever you are using laws of indices or whenever you are solving questions related to the law of indices, you need to write the laws. This is I am telling repeatedly that whichever law you are using, you have to specify the general law. As for example, this was given in your homework, 5 to the power 4 divided by 5 to the power 3 into 5 to the power 5. So I have used this general formula, that is the product law I have used, and I have just written the general formula like a to the power m into a to the power n equals to a to the power m plus n, because I have used this one. So I am writing the general formula. Now I have seen some of the students writing as a to the power 4 into a to the power 3 equals to a to the power 4 plus 3. Children, you will not give the exact numbers that has been written. You will just write the general formula of whichever term you are using. Again, if there is any question which requires two indices, as for example in this one we have this form, that is 4 to the power 0 is equals to 1, because anything to the power 0 is equals to 1. So you have to write this. Again you have to write this one also, a raised to the power m divided by a raised to the power n equals to a raised to the power m minus n when m is greater than n. So if any question requires more than one law of indices also, you need to specify it. I am repeatedly telling, whichever question you are solving, you have to write the general law by which you are solving the question. Now this question you can directly write it equals to as 1, because we see that the whole power is 0. So we can just write that a to the power 0 is equals to 1, because we know that when anything when we multiply any number with 0, the result is 0. Similarly, whenever any number in the form having power 0 will be equals to 1. So you can directly write it as 1, or you can use a raised to the power m whole raised to the power n equals to a raised to the power m into n, and then you can bring one more step ahead. But even if you write equals to 1 and give the general formula, then also it is correct. Now the question that I want to discuss with you is question number 3's fourth part, like minus y square into minus y cube. Now an important thing which you must remember, that it is minus y square and it is not minus y whole square. That means there it is negative sign with y square, that is y square is negative, but here it was minus y square, that means it was minus y into minus y, so it is y square. So whenever you are having these kind of sums, first you should check whether the square is with the number or with the whole term within the bracket, because if it is minus y whole square, then we will use our previous theory which we have studied, like if a raised to the power n, if minus a raised to the power n, then equals to a to the power n if n is even. But in this case we will not consider this system, we will consider the negative sign. So what I have done, I have considered it to be as minus 1 into y square. I have just broken down this term, because we know that minus 1 into y square will be equals to minus y square. Similarly, minus 1 into y cube will be minus y cube. So I have brought down the minus 1 into minus 1 one side and y square into y square. So then I have used the general law. Now minus 1 into minus 1 will be plus 1 and y raised to the power 2 plus 3, because we are using the general product law, that is a raised to the power m into a raised to the power n equals to a raised to the power m plus n. So this will be equals to y raised to the power 5. Many of you have written minus y raised to the power 5 because you have considered the minus with the whole term. It is not with the whole term, the minus is separate and y square is another term. One thing that you can this is a bit direct step, since both the terms are having a negative sign, so we know that If there are two negative signs, then it will be getting absorbed. Like actually I have just replaced these two steps and I have directly written these, but anyways, if you are not able to solve in this way, you can solve it in this way. What I am repeatedly trying to make you understand is, this is minus y square, that is y square is negative and not minus y whole square. This is not the one, actually this is the one, that is y square is negative. I have written it here, it is minus y square and not minus y whole square. Again I have solved this question also, which was given in your homework. See, here it is minus 3 whole square, that means you will be using the previous concept, like minus a raised to the power n will be equals to a raised to the power n when n is even. So I have first converted this one into positive and then I have solved. Now this is minus 3 raised to the power whole square. This is not minus 3 square. This is minus 3 whole square. That means minus 3 into minus 3 and not minus 3 square. So again you can also solve it in this way, like minus 1 into 3 whole square and 3 square. So minus 1 square into 3 square into 3 square. We are using this quotient law. Product law. Not product law. This is one of the more laws of indices. And then we are solving it. So what I am trying to explain you is the difference between minus y square and minus y whole square. Children, be very careful with these two. This is, when I am writing minus y square, this means minus 1 into y. But whenever I am writing minus y whole square, this is equals to minus y into minus y. There will be 2 minus y into minus y, but when I am writing minus y square, that means minus 1 y into y, not minus y into y. Now, we have another question in your exercise. Carrying on, see question number 14. N squares whole square minus n square whole cube. Now, what I have done is, I have first taken out the negative sign outside, keeping in mind that these are not getting subtracted but they are in the multiplication form only. So I have just put out the negative term outside. I have written n square whole cube and I have used the general formula, that is a raised to the power n equals to a raised to the power n into m, and I have just brought the negative term at the beginning and I have then solved using the laws of indices. So whenever I am using any law of indices, I have just mentioned it. Another thing, children, you must show these calculations, that you are multiplying 2 with 3 or you are adding 4 to 6. You must show these, because I see some of the students directly writing n square whole square and n to the power 4. You are not specifying whether you have multiplied or not. Children, show the steps, because showing steps will ultimately help you to identify your own mistake at the end. Another way of solving this is, you, instead of putting minus outside, I have considered minus 1 and then I have solved. The calculations remains the same, the general laws also remains the same that were being used. Only in this case I have just taken out the only negative term, and in this case I have multiplied it with minus 1. Clear, children? Okay. Now moving on next. So we have, see here minus is outside bracket, that means this negative is not a part of 3ab. This negative is a part of the whole question. So minus 3ab whole square. So this minus will not be operated with 3ab whole square. But however, you can see minus 5a square bc to the power 4 whole square. That means this minus will be operated when we are operating this whole square. So we will write, first we will expand these and we will expand these according to this form, and we will keep this minus sign as it is, because this minus is not getting operated when we are performing the operation on 3ab, and we will continue. And so we have used the general laws and we have solved it. Clear? Now moving on next, see question number 21. 5x to the power 7 whole cube into 10x square whole square into 2 to the power 6 whole 7. Now till date whatever questions we were solving, basically we were having all the exponents base were same, or they were in the form of prime factors, or they were be able to cancel them directly. Now whenever you are having these type of questions, like we can see that 10 can be expressed in the factors of 5 and 2. So first we will express these numbers. So whenever you are having any number and you see that that is actually a product of any other two number, we will express that number in terms of the other two numbers. So first we will keep 5x raised to the power 7 whole cube as it is, and we will write 2 into 5, because 2 into 5 is 10, x square whole square by 2 7. We will just break the number in terms of its factors, and particularly in those terms which we can see in the given question. So we will now use our laws of exponent. This will be equals to 5 cube x to the power 7 into 3 into 2 square into 5 square into x to the power 2 into 2 by 2 raised to the power 6 into 7. Basically we have used the law a b whole m is equals to a raised to the power m into b raised to the power m. You need to write this, children. Whichever law you are using, you need to write this. Now once we have expanded it, now we can write it as 3 plus 2 into 2. This is 2 into 2 4, so plus 4, and since this is in the division form, so it will be minus 42, and this will come as it is, that is x raised to the power 21. So we will write, since a raised to the power m into n equals to a raised to the power m plus n, we will write it. So our answer will be, we will add it up, 5 raised to the power 5 into 2 raised to the power 44 minus 44 into x raised to the power 21. But it has been stated that you need to have a positive index, and we see that 2 is having a negative index. So we will write 5 raised to the power 5 x raised to the power 21 by 2 raised to the power 44, and the reason we will write, since a raised to the power minus m is equals to 1 raised to a raised to the power m. Clear? Now if you want, you can simplify, expand this like 5 into 5 into 5, so whatever the answer will be, or you can stop your calculation here itself. So what I was trying to explain is, whenever you are having terms which can be broken down into simpler form, like 10 can be broken down into 5 into 2, so you will break it down, and most importantly you must see that what are the other numbers given in the question, and we will try to bring that number in the form of factors of that question. Now in this question, suppose question number 22, you can see we have 14 and we have 4. So 14 can be expressed in the form of 7 into 2. So we will break 14 into 7 into 2, and we will break 4 in the form of 2 into 2, and then we are going to solve it. So your homework will be exercise 5b, question number 3. Question number 3 is, I guess we have 14 we have solved, 15 also we have solved, so 16, 18, 20, 22. Clear, children? So this will remain your homework.